Hi everybody, my name is Noam Ebner, and I teach at the Werner Institute for Negotiation and Dispute Resolution at Creighton University School of Law. And I'm very, very glad that you have all chosen to join us for this course, for this MOOC on negotiation. At the Werner Institute, we offer a graduate degree on negotiation and dispute resolution, and we offer that on campus as well as online. So we are no newcomers to the world of online education. However, this is the first time we are offering one of our courses as a MOOC, as a massive online open course. And indeed, this is Creighton University's first MOOC, and we are all at Werner and at Creighton very, very pleased and honored that you've chosen to join us for this course. I'd like to give a general introduction to the course to let you know what lies on up ahead, what you will be encountering in this course, what the different moving pieces are in this course, and what you can expect to see. First, a bit about the topic itself. At the Werner Institute, as I've said, we focus on negotiation and dispute resolution. Focusing on negotiation, negotiation is the primary tool that people use both in order to reach agreement and in order to work things out when agreements fall apart or don't work as well as people thought that they would. Negotiation is a universal activity. We all engage in it all of the time. And there are a great many questions that are on a lot of people's minds as they negotiate. We're going to try and deal with many of those in this course. And just to give a few examples, many people wonder, when I negotiate, do I have to play a certain role or act a certain way? Can't I just be myself? Can't I just act comfortably and bring who I am to the negotiation table and still do well? Another question we commonly encounter is, does negotiation always have to end with one party, or perhaps with both parties, winding up feeling taken, winding up with a sour taste in their mouths? We could have done better. They took us for a ride. And finally, a simple question that I think everybody has on mind is, wouldn't it be great if I could simply do this just a little better? Wouldn't it be great if I could go in and negotiate and gain just a little more? We're going to be dealing with all those questions throughout this course, and in a very practical sense. While we will be gaining knowledge about negotiation, we will always try to pin it down to the practice of, so how do we implement that and actually do it in the room at the table? And I think that you'll discover that negotiation is a field in which even just a little bit of knowledge, and of knowledge of a theory to practice type, just a little bit of knowledge can help you do much better in your upcoming negotiation interactions. And I hope that many of you will start to see that and experience, perhaps even as the course goes along. We negotiate across a great many contexts. We negotiate at home with our spouse, with our children. We negotiate with our friends. We negotiate at the workplace with our colleagues, with our boss. We negotiate in business contexts with people inside our organization and people in other organizations. And across all of these contexts, there are many similarities in how negotiation plays out, and there are also some differences. And in this course, we will learn both to recognize contexts of negotiation, what effect different contexts have, and how to choose intentionally what to do based on the context you're in and what is going on in that negotiation. Let me briefly introduce the topics that we'll be meeting in this course. The course is broken down into 4 topics, each of which is delivered in a separate module, and each module will be studied over the course of a week. So each week we will be studying a different topic. These 4 topics are, in this coming week, this first week, we will learn about the different contexts in which we negotiate and about our own personal style and orientation to negotiation. In the second module, we'll discuss a competitive form of negotiation in which parties try to get the very most that they can from one another, and this is a familiar mode of negotiating which we encounter in our bargaining interactions. In the third module, we will focus on a third topic of a more cooperative form of negotiation, a form that's called interest-based negotiation or integrative negotiation. And finally, our fourth topic, studied in the fourth module, will be to put together a toolbox of very practical, tactical tools that we can use across all of our different negotiation interactions. What is the structure of each module that you can expect to encounter each week? So it's very simple. Each module opens with an initial reflection section. In that section, we will try to get in touch with our initial intuitive preconceptions or our initial experiences or our initial ideas about the week's topic before we start learning it. Okay? And once we've put that out on the table and explored what we think about that or feel about that ahead of time, we'll move on to studying the week's main content, which is the input, the video lectures and the reading material, etc., that we will take in and mix in with those preconceptions that we have. And that is where the main part of our learning for the week will happen. In each unit, I've also added on a section called For Further Exploration, which is an area with material for those of you who want to go beyond the basics on the topic that we're studying and expand your horizons a little more by reading more, by viewing more, by learning what else is out there on the week's main topic. Finally, in units 2, 3, and 4, I've added an additional section, which I've called the Digging Deeper section. In the Digging Deeper section, you'll encounter another topic to do with negotiation. It's a topic that is somewhat related to the main topic, but it is not very or directly related to it, and it is intended to be a different topic that those of you who want to simply study more and learn more about the world of negotiation and its different contexts and applications can study. I didn't add one into unit number 1 because I figured that you would have enough on your heads this week trying to figure out the course structure and where everything is and introducing yourself and so on. But in weeks 2 and 3 and 4, you can expect to encounter another little different area that includes a different topic. In module number 2, we'll be focusing on ethics in negotiation. In module number 3, we'll be discussing mediation, or how a third-party neutral can help two negotiators work together constructively to work things out between them. And in module number 4, the Digging Deeper unit will focus on e-negotiation or online negotiation, how negotiation processes play out when they are conducted online. Those are the topics of the course and the way those topics are broken down into modules. Now, in each module, you will encounter certain types of material and you will partake in different types of activities. Let me lay those out briefly. So the material you can expect to see in the course will be different video material. Some of them will be a video talk such as I'm giving now, head on into a camera. Another type might be a video conversation that I will be having with a different expert in the field of negotiation from my colleagues at the Werner Institute or different internationally recognized experts that I've invited into the class to share their thoughts on negotiation with you. If there's any one thing that all negotiation teachers agree on, it is that there is no one right way to do that and that there are many different right ways to do it. So having many, many voices in the course is my attempt at helping capture some of this richness and exposing you to the many different opinions and approaches to how negotiation can be done. In addition to videos, you can expect to find some short pieces of reading material and some other types of material such as video demonstrations of some of the skills we'll be discussing and different types of presentations. As far as activities are concerned, well, those of you who have learned online already know, and those of you who are just starting will discover soon, that the first activity you do as an online learner is independent learning. It's you and the material, you reading the material, you viewing the videos and thinking, what does all this mean to me? So the first learning activity is you and yourself getting together and engaging with the material. In addition, we will have a much more interactive, interpersonal element of the course, which will take place in the course's discussion forums. In each week, you can expect to encounter a discussion forum, both in the initial reflection section, in which you will be invited to talk with each other about your initial reflections. In other words, how do I view this stuff even before I start to learn it? What has been my experience in life thus far? And to find who has shared those experiences and who has had wildly different experiences. So that's one discussion forum you'll meet in each module of the course. You'll also meet a discussion forum in the main content section of the course, where after we've intaken all the reading material and video talks and the different material that we have for you, I will ask you to apply all of this material and your thinking to different life experiences of your own, and to share that with your co-students in the course and with myself and with the teaching associates. And in that area, I hope that is where much of the discussion in the class will take place, and that is really with the heart, perhaps, of the learning goes on. I've also added in an additional discussion forum into each module in the Digging Deeper section. So if you're studying the Digging Deeper module on mediation, you will also find a discussion forum there in which you can talk about mediation. And the reason to separate these discussion forums down topically, as I've done, is just so that we can focus on a particular topic in each one of those. Feel free to participate in them all as you like. The teaching associates and myself will be present in all of them, present and active. We'll be asking questions, we'll be answering questions, and we hope to see you all engaging in there. Another activity that you can expect to encounter in this course, towards module number 3, we'll be conducting a negotiation simulation in which each of you will team up with another student in the course, and you'll conduct a negotiation simulation between you, which we will then debrief. And finally, at the end of each module, you will find a short quiz. This quiz is not intended to grade you or to make life hard on you. It is an ungraded quiz that is only there to help you verify your own learning and understanding of the material in the module. So I urge you to take the quizzes. The grade is not recorded, just the fact that you've taken it is, and you can take as long as you need or want to take the quiz, and you can take these quizzes as many times as you want to until you've nailed down the material. At the end of the course, those students who want to earn a certificate will also conduct a final course quiz, which will be on all the material in this course. I know that many of you are here hoping to earn a certificate of completion at the end of the course. You will find in the Introduction and Getting Starting module a page which details in high detail exactly what you need to do in order to earn that certificate of completion, start to finish. Go check that out. Having said that about the certification, I know that many of you are here for different motivations and not necessarily to earn the certification, and that's great. I've tried to design this course in such a way that will accommodate people with very, very different reasons for being here, and people planning to spend very different amounts of time and effort and invest them in the course. And I hope that all of you who have come to this course will find whatever it is you were looking for where you came, and maybe even a little more. What I'd suggest that you all do as your first step in this course is to go over all of the preliminary material that you'll find in the Introduction and Getting Started module. You will find there everything that I have just said, expanded and detailed, and you will know exactly what you need to do in order to find your way around and be comfortable in this course. And of course, if there is any way that either I or the teaching associates in this course can help you to have a better learning experience, to feel more comfortable here, to figure out how to navigate your way around here better, to support you throughout this process, just reach out and let us help you. I'm looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to this course. Let's get started.